charity. Today's charity is Love Our Children USA. The organization is actually a collection of several charities which are devoted to helping abandoned children, ending bullying, protecting children from domestic abuse and sexual predators. So you can go in and pick a charity that you want to support, or you can just make a general donation to the site. I donated $10, so there you go. Now, Book Review Monday. I didn't review a book last week, and so this week you're going to get 2 reviews. Over the weekend, I finished reading The Last Battle, which is the last book in the Narnia series. And so I am first going to review The Last Battle by itself, and then my second review, which will be in a separate episode, will be on the Chronicles of Narnia as a whole. So first, The Last Battle by C.S. Lewis. This was definitely my least favorite of the Narnia books. The thing that C.S. Lewis is allegorizing, I don't even know if that's a word, but whatever. The thing that C.S. Lewis is allegorizing in The Last Battle is the end of the world, rather the Christian view of the end of the world. There is a false Aslan, who is really just a donkey dressed in a lion's skin, who is dreamed up by this ape, who is now claiming to speak on behalf of Aslan, and is telling the Narnians who don't know any better to do all of these horrible things. The symbolism in this book, as opposed to the symbolism in the other books, is very overt. The view of the end of the world, as portrayed in this book, is very obviously Christian. It's the book of Revelation. There's an Antichrist and everything. There is one aspect of this book that I like. There's a point in the book where a group of dwarves realize that they have been deceived by this false Aslan. And they decide that they are not going to answer to any Aslan, either the real or the fake one. So essentially they come to represent the non-believers. What I like about this aspect of the novel is that it is the people who are claiming to speak for Aslan, the god Jesus lion, who turn these dwarves off of religion altogether. Christians and other religious people who are quite obviously hypocrites turn other people off from practicing religion at all. It's the only aspect of this part of the story that I like. I do not like the way C.S. Lewis portrays the non-believers from that point on. Essentially what C.S. Lewis seems to be saying about atheists and agnostics is that they are greedy and selfish and stupid. Now C.S. Lewis does also play around with the idea that people of other faiths, as long as they are faithful to their religion and the ideals of their religion, can still enter into the same kind of paradise that Christians do. But he doesn't portray it in a way that I find particularly effective. He basically seems to be saying, look, it's okay if you're a faithful lifelong Muslim, but when you die, you're going to discover that you were really a Christian the whole time. But I could overlook most of that if it weren't for this last thing. It's this last thing that really bugs me. The thing about Last Battle that I really don't like is that it's just not a good story. It's not even really a story at all. Most of the conflict that occurs in this story is pretty much over by chapter 11. And midway through the book, you know that any fighting that's going to go on is pretty much going to be futile. And so much of the novel is nothing more really than an observation, much like the book of Revelation itself. And then the end comes, and there's still 3 more chapters left in the novel. I just don't like it when authors try to portray the end of a world as some big cataclysmic, boom, you're done. I think of the end of the world as a constant thing, like the world ends a little bit every single day, which isn't the end that you get in this book. The end of this book is just boom, you're done. So yeah, Last Battle, didn't like it, and next episode I'll review the Chronicles of Narnia as a whole. See you then.